Welcome back to the fourth and final part of The Power of Silence. If you've missed the previous parts, please check the description down below for the links. In this final part, we'll explore spiritual dimensions of silence, how stillness has been honored across cultures and faiths for centuries. And we'll close with a powerful conclusion, reminding us that silence is not only the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new way of living. Let's dive in.
Chapter 5, The Spiritual Dimensions of Silence. In Chapter 5, The Spiritual Dimensions of Silence, we turn inward to explore the profound role silence plays in the quest for spiritual awakening and a deeper communion with the divine. Across the ages and within myriad religious and spiritual traditions, silence has been revered not merely as the absence of sound but as a rich, fertile ground for spiritual growth and understanding. This chapter opens the gateway to recognizing silence as an essential practice in the spiritual journey, a practice that transcends cultural and religious boundaries to touch the core of our being. Silence, in the spiritual context, is often seen as a direct path to experiencing the divine, a way to quiet the mind's constant chatter and tune into a deeper, universal truth. It offers a space for reflection, prayer, and meditation where the spiritual seeker can connect with the sacred within and around. Here, in the quietude, the noise of everyday life falls away, revealing a sense of peace and oneness that words can scarcely capture. As we navigate the realms of silence within spiritual and religious traditions, personal anecdotes of spiritual discovery, and the integration of silence into daily practice, this chapter seeks to illuminate the transformative power of quiet. It highlights how, through the deliberate cultivation of silence, individuals have encountered profound insights, experienced spiritual awakenings, and fostered a more intimate relationship with the divine. Embarking on this exploration, we invite readers to consider how silence might play a role in their own spiritual paths. Whether one is deeply embedded in a specific religious tradition or navigating the waters of spirituality independently, silence offers a universal point of connection, a serene expanse in which to seek, discover, and grow. Through the insights and practices shared in this chapter, we hope to inspire a journey into silence that enriches the soul and deepens the spiritual experience, opening the heart to the infinite possibilities that quietude brings. Silence across the spiritual spectrum. In exploring the vast landscape of spiritual and religious traditions, one thread weaves through them all with remarkable consistency: the practice and reverence of silence. This universal presence speaks to silence's intrinsic value not as mere absence of noise but as a profound vessel for spiritual exploration and connection. This section illuminates how various faiths and spiritual paths have honored silence, using it as a bridge to the divine and a tool for inner transformation. Buddhism, the sound of silence. In Buddhism, silence is integral to meditation and mindfulness practices, serving as a path to enlightenment. The practice of vipassana, for example, emphasizes silence as a means to cultivate deep awareness and insight into the nature of existence. Through silent meditation, practitioners learn to observe their thoughts and feelings without attachment, encountering the profound peace and understanding that lies beyond the mind's chatter. Christianity, the quiet heart. Christian contemplative practices, such as centering prayer and the silent retreats of monastic life, highlight the role of silence in fostering a closer relationship with God. The Desert Fathers, early Christian hermits, valued silence for its ability to purify the heart and mind, making space for divine communication. In these moments of quiet, believers report experiencing God's presence more palpably, as silence becomes a sacred space for prayer and reflection. Hinduism, the divine in stillness. Hinduism's rich tapestry of spiritual practices includes the use of silence for self-realization and connection with Brahman, the ultimate reality. The concept of mauna, or sacred silence, is practiced as a way to calm the mind and transcend the ego, facilitating a deeper understanding of one's true self and the interconnectedness of all life. In this tradition, silence is not just an absence but a presence that reveals the divine within. Islam, the silence of submission. In Islam, silence is valued for its ability to cultivate inner peace, patience, and spiritual submission to Allah's will. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, particularly emphasizes silent contemplation and meditation as means to experience God's love and presence. The practice of silent dhikr, the remembrance of Allah, allows devotees to connect deeply with their faith in a personal, introspective manner. Indigenous and nature-based spirituality, listening to the earth. Many indigenous and nature-based spiritual traditions hold silence in high esteem, viewing it as a way to deepen one's connection with the natural world and the spirit realm. Silent observation and listening are practices that foster a sense of harmony with the earth and an understanding of the subtle messages it conveys. In these traditions, silence is a teacher, offering lessons in living in balance with nature and all its beings. Silence as a spiritual common ground. Across these diverse traditions, silence serves as a powerful common ground, a universal spiritual language that transcends doctrinal differences. It offers a means to explore the deepest questions of existence, connect with the divine, and embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. As we explore the sacredness of silence across cultures and faiths, we find a shared understanding of its potential to heal, enlighten, and unite. In embracing silence, these spiritual traditions invite us to experience the profound and the sacred, reminding us that in the quiet, we can discover not only a deeper connection with the divine but with the very essence of our being. Voices of Silence, Personal Journeys of Spiritual Discovery. The personal anecdotes of spiritual discovery through silence form a mosaic of experiences that highlight the transformative power of quietude. These stories, drawn from individuals who have ventured into the depths of silence, illuminate the varied paths silence can carve in the quest for spiritual awakening and connection. This section explores several such journeys, offering a glimpse into the profound impact that silence can have on the soul's landscape. Finding peace in the pause. One account comes from a woman who found solace in silence during a period of immense personal loss. In the aftermath of grief, she began to seek moments of quiet, away from the sympathies and conversations that, while well-intentioned, often felt overwhelming. In the silence of early mornings, she discovered a space where her grief could exist without words, a place of healing where she felt a deep connection to the loved one she had lost. Through silence, she found not only peace but a sense of presence that comforted her in her journey through grief. The sound of clarity. Another anecdote comes from a man who turned to silence as a refuge from the noise of a career that demanded constant connectivity. By dedicating time to silent retreats and daily periods of quietude, he encountered a clarity of mind that he had not experienced since his youth. Silence became a wellspring of creativity and insight, revealing desires and dreams that had been buried under years of busyness and distraction. This rediscovery inspired a shift in his life path, guiding him towards a more fulfilling career and a balanced way of living. Unity in silent connection. A remarkable story of silence comes from a group of individuals from diverse spiritual backgrounds who participated in an interfaith silent retreat. Despite their different beliefs, they found common ground in the shared experience of silence. This collective journey through quietude fostered a sense of unity and mutual respect that transcended religious differences. Participants reported leaving the retreat with a deeper understanding of their own faith and a profound respect for the spiritual paths of others. Awakening to the present. Another narrative centers on a young adult's use of silence to combat the feeling of disconnection brought on by the digital age. By incorporating silent meditation into her daily routine and consciously choosing to unplug from digital devices, she awakened to the richness of the present moment. Silence taught her to listen to her inner voice and to the world around her with a newfound appreciation. This practice of intentional silence became a cornerstone of her spiritual growth, leading her to a path of mindfulness and presence. These personal anecdotes underscore the unique and powerful role that silence can play in spiritual discovery and growth. Each story is a testament to the sacredness of silence, a reminder that within its quiet embrace lies the potential for healing, insight, unity, and awakening. As we reflect on these journeys, we are invited to consider our own relationship with silence and the ways in which it might lead us to deeper spiritual understanding and connection. Weaving silence into the fabric of spirituality. The journey of integrating silence into spiritual practice is a transformative process that beckons the soul towards deeper realms of awareness and connection. As we explore the myriad ways in which silence can be woven into the fabric of spirituality, we uncover a universal practice adaptable to any faith or belief system. This section offers insights and strategies for making silence a central pillar of spiritual life, enhancing the journey towards inner peace and divine connection. Setting intentions for silence. The first step in integrating silence into spiritual practice is setting a clear intention. What is sought through silence? Is it peace, clarity, deeper understanding, or connection with the divine? By defining the purpose, individuals can approach silence with direction and openness to the spiritual discoveries that await. This intentionality lays the groundwork for a meaningful engagement with silence, transforming it from mere absence of sound into a sacred space for spiritual growth. Daily moments of quietude. Incorporating moments of silence into daily life can begin with small, simple practices. It could be starting the day with a few minutes of silent meditation, taking a silent walk in nature, or spending quiet moments in prayer or reflection before bed. These daily pauses offer regular touchpoints with the inner self and the divine, fostering a routine that gradually deepens one's spiritual practice. Creating a sacred space for silence. Dedicating a physical space for silent contemplation or meditation can significantly enhance one's spiritual practice. This space, whether a corner of a room or a spot in the garden, becomes a sanctuary for silence. Decorating it with items that inspire peace and spirituality, such as candles, sacred texts, or natural elements, can help reinforce the sanctity of silence and the intention to connect with something greater than oneself. Silent retreats and meditative practices. For those seeking to deepen their practice, participating in silent retreats or adopting specific meditative practices focused on silence can be powerful. These structured experiences provide a framework for exploring silence more profoundly, often leading to significant spiritual insights and transformations. Whether through a guided retreat or personal meditation practice, these prolonged periods of silence can catalyze a deeper understanding of the self and the divine. Reflecting and journaling. Integrating silence into spiritual practice is not just about the experience of quiet itself but also about reflection on these experiences. Keeping a journal to document thoughts, feelings, and spiritual insights that arise during times of silence can be incredibly valuable. This practice of reflection helps to integrate the lessons of silence into one's spiritual journey, providing a tangible record of spiritual evolution and deepening understanding. Embracing silence as a spiritual companion. Over time, silence becomes more than a practice, it becomes a trusted companion on the spiritual path. It offers solace, guidance, and profound connection, revealing truths that words cannot express. By integrating silence into spiritual practice, individuals open themselves to the transformative power of quietude, discovering that within silence lies the key to deeper spiritual awakening and divine communion. Integrating silence into spiritual practice is a journey of embracing the quiet, listening deeply to the whispers of the soul, and connecting more intimately with the divine. Through intention, daily practices, sacred spaces, and reflective contemplation, silence becomes a luminous path to spiritual discovery and fulfillment. Conclusion. As we draw this chapter to a close, we reflect on the profound journey through the spiritual dimensions of silence, recognizing silence not merely as an absence of sound but as a profound presence that resonates with the core of our being. Through the exploration of silence across spiritual and religious traditions, personal narratives of discovery, and the practical integration of silence into spiritual practice, we've unveiled the multifaceted ways in which silence serves as a gateway to deeper spiritual awakening and connection with the divine. Silence, we've learned, is a universal language, understood and revered by diverse faiths and paths as a means to access the sacred, to listen to the whispers of the soul, and to commune with the infinite. It is in the quiet that we often find the loudest truths, the deepest peace, and the clearest guidance. The personal stories shared in this chapter serve as powerful testaments to the transformative impact of silence, reminding us that in our own moments of quiet, we too can encounter profound revelations and spiritual solace. The invitation to integrate silence into our spiritual practices encourages us not only to seek silence but to embrace it as a vital component of our spiritual journey. Whether through dedicated spaces for quiet contemplation, daily moments of silence woven into our routines, or immersive experiences like silent retreats, we are called to make room for silence in our lives. In doing so, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that silence offers for growth, healing, and deeper connection. We stand at the threshold of our own silent journeys, equipped with the understanding that silence is not merely a passive state but an active force of spiritual nourishment. It is a sacred vessel that carries us closer to the essence of who we are and to the divine presence that pervades all of life. May this chapter serve as both an inspiration and a guide as you embark on your spiritual journey of silence, discovering the peace, wisdom, and connection that await in the quietude of your being. In silence, may we all find the path to our deepest selves and to the universal truths that bind us all. Embracing the journey, the unending symphony of silence. As we draw the curtains on the power of silence, how stillness speaks volumes, we stand at the precipice of a new understanding, equipped with the knowledge that silence is not merely an absence but a presence full of potential and depth. This book has journeyed through the multifaceted dimensions of silence, from its power to transform our communication and relationships to its profound spiritual significance across various traditions. Silence, we've discovered, is a sanctuary within which we can find solace from the clamor of the world, a mirror reflecting the truths of our inner selves, and a bridge connecting us to the divine. It's a force that, when embraced, enriches every facet of our existence, offering clarity in confusion, peace in turmoil, and connection in isolation. As we close this chapter and look towards the horizon, let us carry forward the message that silence is a gift waiting to be unwrapped in our daily lives. Let it not be an end but the beginning of a lifelong journey where we continually discover the strength in stillness, the wisdom in quietude, and the profound connections that silence can foster. May we each find the courage to invite silence into our lives, to create spaces of quiet reflection, and to listen to the whispers of our hearts and the symphony of the world around us in new, profound ways. Let us remember that in the tapestry of life, the threads of silence hold a place of honor, weaving through our days with the promise of peace, understanding, and deep, resonant joy. The power of silence, how stillness speaks volumes, is an invitation to explore, to experience, and to embody the quiet power that silence holds. May this journey into silence inspire you to discover the boundless treasures that await in the stillness, to forge deeper connections with others, and to walk a path of peace and mindfulness. Here's to the quiet moments, the pauses between breaths, the spaces between words, and the stillness that speaks volumes. In silence, may we all find our way home to ourselves and to each other, embarking on a path of discovery, connection, and profound tranquility.
You've just finished The Power of Silence. We've journeyed from the lost art of silence to its science, its practice, and now its spiritual depth. The message is clear. Silence is not empty. It's full of power. A practice that can bring peace, connection, and meaning into your life. Thank you for listening. If this audiobook has encouraged you, subscribe to Better Life Library, like this video, and share your reflections in the comments. We'd love to hear how silence is transforming your life. This is Better Life Library, and this is only the beginning.